Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Breathe, Move, and Nourish with us, where we do yoga, Zumba, baking, and other kinds of stuff. So today we're gonna make walnut pie. It's very easy to make. All you need is a bunch of ingredients and an oven and a mixer. Let's get this started.
So we're gonna start off by making the pie crust first. In a large bowl, add in the flour and salt, and then whisk it together with a fork until combined. Now make a well in the center, and now it's time to add in the oil. I'm using olive oil today, but you can use any oil you want. Make sure you scrape down the bowl, and using the same fork, mix it together, but not too much. You want the dough to become crummy looking, so then we can add the ice water later. As you can see, it's crummy but not fully combined yet, so now it's time to add in the ice water. Mix it together. Now, as you're mixing, it will form into a dough, so it's time to use your hands to mix everything together. And here's me scraping the fork with my hands. Okay, now it's time to mix everything together with your hands, and just keep doing that until it forms into a ball. This is what it should look like. Now it's time to roll out the crust. So I'm using 2 parchment papers, a rolling pin, and a pie crust pan. So what you want to do is put the pie crust into the parchment paper at the bottom and put 1 parchment paper at the top. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm just molding the dough together, and then I put the parchment paper on top. Using your rolling pin, roll about 1/2 centimeter wide. You want to make sure it's not too thin but not too thick so you can put it onto the pie crust. As you can see, this is what it looks like when you roll it out. It's not too thick and not too thin. Okay, now I'm picking up the parchment paper. As you can see, there are some cracks onto the dough, but that's okay. You can just fix it with your fingers. Okay, now I'm just using my fingers to fix the cracks. Okay, now it's time to put the crust onto the pan, so I put it on top of the crust. This might be kind of hard to see, but I put my hand underneath the parchment paper and I very carefully flip it upside down just so that it doesn't make a mess out of everything. And then I lift the parchment paper up. So you want to make sure it does not crack or fall apart. Okay, now it's time to lift the parchment paper up, but very gently because you don't want to ruin it. And this is what it should look like. And you can see there are some cracks on it, but that's okay. Just use the back of your fingers to press onto the sides of the pie pan just to create a beautiful shell shape. Alright, I'm using a fork to poke it onto the pie crust, the bottom of the pie crust. Now, to prevent the dough from rising, all you need is something heavy. So I'm using aluminum foil and dry red kidney beans, but you can use any dry beans you want, preferably for baking. So what I did is I put the aluminum foil onto the pie crust, and then I put the red kidney beans on top of it. So let's do it. I did want to mention I did press it onto the pie crust just so that it does not rise. And now I put the red kidney beans on top. Make sure you spread the beans out evenly. Now it's time to put it in the oven, so bake it about 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes, or until it's fully cooked and golden brown and it will not rise. Okay, now it's time to make the pie filling. While our crust is cooking, it's time to make the pie filling. Now I will put the amount of ingredients below. So in a saucepan, add in the brown sugar, salt, the flour, and then whisk that together. Now add in the corn syrup as gracefully as I did. Make sure you scrape the bowl too because you don't want it to be sticky. And add in the butter. Now turn the burner on to medium-low heat and then whisk everything together until the butter and the corn syrup is fully melted. Okay, as you can see, this is what the sauce looks like. Look how pretty the color is. I wish you guys could smell this. Okay, once it's done, turn off the heat and let the filling cool completely. Okay, now it's time to beat the eggs. So I have 2 eggs here and an electric hand mixer. And I also have vanilla extract. I'm going to add both of them into a bowl and just beat that together until it becomes creamy. And the reason why I added vanilla extract to it is because the eggs really stink and we do not want it to smell like a farm. As you can see, it looks really creamy. That's what you want it to look like. Okay, now it's time to add the corn syrup filling into the egg mixture. As you can see, it's cooled down because you don't want it to cook the eggs. And once you add that into the bowl, just mix it together until it's all combined. A few minutes later, you should have something like this, and it looks pretty already. Alright, now it's time to pour the filling into the pie crust. So my crust has baked for about 20 minutes, and now it's time to remove the kidney beans carefully off to the pie crust pan and just put it into a bowl. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it didn't rise. Okay, now it's time to pour the filling into the pie crust very carefully. Make sure you scrape down the bowl. And once you add that in, it's time to add in the walnuts. Just make sure you distribute it evenly into the filling, just so that every single one has walnut in it, because like I said, walnut pie. Okay, now it's time to bake it. Pop this back into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 to 45 minutes, or until it's fully cooked and the top is like golden brown, and then we'll serve them and slice them. Look at that. I mean, come on! Is that a walnut pie or is that a walnut pie? Okay, I'm just kidding. So I've already cut the pie. As you can see, the inside is gooey. It's full of walnut. Now it's time to try it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you did. I hope you find this really helpful. And we will see you in the next video. Bye!